Hi, good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Dan and this is Engelgeist. I am here to do the daily forecast. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you who attended the full moon preview last night. It was a lot of fun. Tonight there will be the Triple H hour on Tuesday night, so keep an eye out for that. If you want to be alerted to that, please hit the subscribe button or the like button on my Facebook business page and hit the notifications bell so you're notified when I go live. That's a way of also supporting the channel. You can also follow me at Engelgeist333 either at Patreon through a paid subscription, which there's other material over on Patreon that's not available here, or you can follow me on at Engelgeist333 on Instagram. Those are other ways of supporting the channel. So I am your spiritual meteorologist. I am here shuffling the cards right now, asking Spirit, the cards, the universe for the collective message, the message for the highest good for the greater collective, right? So this is something to focus on for Wednesday, March 11th. Now, if this shows up, I believe that Spirit can have a way of sort of placing things in our path when we're ready for them. So if you're seeing this and it's not March 11th, don't fret. This message is for the highest good for the greater collective. You might be keyed into this message or in alignment with this message at this time, whatever day it may be. So therefore, this is a timeless reading, even though it is a daily forecast specific to my regular viewers that watch on the daily, right? So I will be talking about some of the energies throughout the week that we've looked at in previous forecasts of this week. I'll be referencing those. But for those of you where it's maybe not March 11th and you're seeing this video, stay with it and see if this message resonates, because I believe you might just be in vibrational alignment today. So let's see what we've got going on in this. We've just had that full moon in Virgo last night. I feel like between that and Mercury going direct, I'm tired, guys. I even wake up tired. I'm not sure what's going on. So let's see. I've also got a very feminine, empowered energy across a lot this week. So let's see if that still carries through. If you haven't watched Sunday's reading, Sunday is the underpinning of the week. So not only does it kick off Sunday's reading, right, those 4 cards, but it's a more extended forecast, but each card represents for a day or two. So this is our card for today. We have the Emperor, interesting. So nice to have a little bit of male energy coming in. The Emperor to me is always, he's the 4th card of the major arcana. He's always sort of, how do I want to say this? He's loving and stern, yet you can't get one over on the Emperor, okay? You have to sort of meet the Emperor's requirements. He's a fair and benevolent leader, right? He understands what he deserves and how he deserves it. He understands what sort of steps need to be taken to get the job done. There's a high standard with the Emperor, right? But it's not an unattainable standard. It's a really good it's like a standard to be proud of, right? So when I look at this card today, to me, this feels like, first off, I don't know, I mean, I'm saying all of that stuff because that's what the general representation of the Emperor card is in most decks, and to me, right? But when I look at this, I feel like this is a bit of loneliness or a longing that's happening. And the reason why I see that is because of these lines coming off of him and the way that his head is tilted away. I feel like this Emperor, or some of us, might be looking to the past and missing something, and I don't mean missing it in the way that it's not there, but sort of like a longing for days gone by, situations that maybe didn't work out. This Emperor to me feels rather reflective in the sense that it feels like he's maybe looking back at situations where maybe we didn't quite achieve what we wanted to, or we didn't quite achieve it in the way that we thought we would, okay? But with this being the Emperor, there's always sort of this measured approach, this sort of respect, this appropriateness is another good word that goes with this card. I feel like this is not like messy emotions. This is not oh my god, I feel so horrible, I can't believe that happened back then. This is kind of like reflecting back and really sort of making sense, I think, of some of the things that we've been through, empowering ourselves to a degree. Now, I don't think that for all of you this is going to feel great. When I'm looking at this card, and it's funny because I don't normally get this with the Emperor card, it's sort of the art in this deck, I think. But for some of you, you might feel a sense of longing or a sense of, not remorse, but reflection that brings about an understanding of why things needed to be the way that they were, if that makes any sense. And there's an acceptance there. There's no shortcuts with the Emperor, right? You have to sort of follow through the appropriate steps with the Emperor. And so, to me, I feel like this time of reflection, or him looking back, and this kind of feeling of connecting to the past and understanding our now through our behaviors of the past, is sort of key and crucial this week for sort of transforming that. Now, remember, we saw that midweek card, because we're now at Wednesday, right? We saw that midweek card on Sunday, which was the Four of Cups, which was about that sort of emotional stability and balance that's being built around our emotions. I feel like this Emperor energy coming in is a very strong, sort of masculine energy, but it is also that sort of steadfast, steady energy that we need for that Four of Cups so that we can kind of balance our emotional selves, maybe the emotions of our past, things that possibly drove us in the past. Allowing this Emperor energy allows us to kind of take ownership of that, not judge ourselves unfairly, and allows us to kind of move forward in acceptance of whatever has happened, okay? Now, I don't want you to think that this is all about the past card. I feel like this is a reflection on the past with an acceptance in the present from a very, I don't know if educated is the right word, but a very sort of like aware, maybe is a good word, from a very aware perspective, okay? A very fair, benevolent, albeit maybe slightly critical, but we're like, it's like more like critical thinking in the sense of really being discerning versus being abusive to ourselves or picking ourselves apart. This is more about looking at the situation from a whole and really going like, oh, okay, I understand why that went wrong or where that went wrong or what happened there, and I understand that I am stronger than that, or that I can now move from this place into something better in the future for having gone through that, okay? So this is an actually really empowered card. I believe that this is sort of, it's interesting we have that Four of Cups and the Emperor is the fourth card of the major arcana. So we've got that 4-4 thing happening in the midweek, which to me is also a master number, but I feel like he's bringing in that 4 energy in a very big way, that Four of Cups energy. He is bringing about a balance of our emotional body or our emotional energy that we saw in that Four of Cups on Sunday by having us be discerning, sitting from a place of authority, really being aware of who we are and why we've done what we've done, why things that have happened to us, and looking at it from like a more of a bigger picture space versus like say an oh poor me. There's an air to the Emperor, there's an authority, there's a respect, there's a like it's like we're putting ourselves first, and I like that he's here in between the two queens that we saw on Sunday, right? We also saw the Queen of Swords yesterday, so there's this energy about us respecting ourselves. Maybe it's because we're moving into spring, but there's this energy with these cards showing up where we're starting to understand our value, and we're really looking at that and honoring that and expecting that from ourselves in not a harsh way or self-critical way, but in a way that's very real, right? We're not allowed to cut corners though with the Emperor. I'm just saying that. So if you're looking for an easy way out this week, the Emperor's not going to let you. You're going to have to like sort of sit with it, look through it, dig through it, understand it, and release it. Now let's see what the universe has your back says. Wow. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. Now, this ties into this Emperor because I feel like he's reflecting back and looking at things through a different set of eyes. Like this is an opportunity for us to gain emotional stability like we saw in that Four of Cups by reflecting back, holding ourselves to a high standard, not an unobtainable standard, but holding ourselves to the standard of the Emperor and really assessing where and what we've done maybe in our past and how we're not going to need to do that again to ourselves, or we're not going to live from that place, right? And that stabilizes us emotionally. It also allows us to lean in on this certainty and faith and change my mind about the world I see. It shifts our perception of how we are in the world. We start to realize that we were not victim to the situations. We actually were just not a partnership, but we were just a part of the situation, right? We were in some level of acceptance to whatever went on with us. We were there to learn whatever we needed to learn, and now with this Emperor card, we're reflecting back, we're stabilizing those emotions around those situations, and we're really adopting this position of certainty and faith, this position of, which is definitely involving the Emperor and his sort of steadiness, his groundedness, and we're seeing the world through different eyes, right? We're seeing our situations through different eyes. We're starting to realize that things that we maybe looked at as tragedies or that held us back in the past are no longer that. They're actually the situations that led us exactly to this very moment in the present moment right now, which, if we really are truly looking at them for what they are, without all of the emotion and the labels and the criticisms and those sort of things, because the Emperor is not critical. He's discerning, but he's not critical. He's not here to tell you, oh, you fucked up there, Rhonda. That's not what he's here to do. He's here to lovingly embrace you and show you maybe where you went wrong, but also show you what steps you can now take to make right on wherever you have gone wrong. And with this certainty and faith and leaning on that within yourself, if we're talking about certainty within ourselves and faith within ourselves, we start to see the world in a different light. We start to see these past experiences in a different light. And that offers us that stability that we see in that Four of Cups from Sunday's reading, okay? Where we start to, I wouldn't say necessarily we're healing those wounds. Some of us very well may be, but we're certainly acknowledging them from a less emotional perspective, and they don't necessarily drive us as hard as they used to, okay? We're letting them go. We're living more now in the present than in the past. And so, the grounding stone. This is a stone to ground in for the day. I love this. I don't think we've seen this stone as of yet. It's on rose quartz, which is obviously the heart chakra. This is learn. So, I think that's exactly what I've described here in these cards, to be honest. Is this Emperor is sort of, we've learned who we are and what we're worth, right? We've learned that we want more, we deserve more, and we're sort of sitting in our throne, maybe reflecting back at situations that maybe were beneath us or didn't serve us in a certain way. But we're also understanding what our part was in it, and kind of making a commitment to ourselves to no longer do that, right? And we're leaning in on that certainty and faith, and we're changing our minds and about how we see our world, right? How we fit in our world. We're learning from a heart chakra, a heart-centered space, from this place of love, about how to better treat ourselves, how to better hold ourselves, how to not cut corners with ourselves, how to not cheat ourselves out by being overly self-critical, by, when we do our best and we maybe fail, allowing that to temper the rest of our experiences. We don't need to do that to ourselves anymore, guys. Today is a day about how to learn how to sort of be our own, guiding father in a way, to call upon our own strength, and to learn to see ourselves in a different light. Alright, so that is your forecast for today. I hope that makes sense. Please leave me a like, a share, a comment, a subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Alright, have a great day, you guys. I hope you can get out there and really enjoy this energy. This energy is a very nice, stable, steadfast energy, and it's a definite opportunity for sort of transformation in how we fit in our world. So allow yourself to have that today. You certainly deserve it. And if you have to teach yourself, go ahead and learn it from the heart. Much love to you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.